Good morning, everyone, and welcome to FPC Radio Live. We are live here on a Tuesday morning. It is May the 11th. Yes, May the 11th. Once again, I should always check that before I say it because about 50% of the time I'm wrong. So never take my word for it. But no, it is Tuesday, which means we are here live. We are talking the latest headlines. And of course, we're going to talk with John Sapichetti here in a little bit. But first, we're going to get our obligated time in with my co-host here. He only gets to talk for a couple minutes on a Tuesday when John's here. So the big hearty to Mike debate. Mike, what's up, buddy?
La 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 la. They're doing well, buddy. Doing well. Yeah, see, that's I had a little vibrato on the end of that.
Oh, it's nice.
I got to maximize my airtime while I can. All kidding aside, bud, great to be here on a Tuesday morning, FPC Radio Live. You mentioned it was May 11th, and I love my tidbits, but
here we go.
I love my movie history.
Let's do it. Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
So this is a. For anybody that enjoyed the Shea Bippy Mob Pod that I co-host with my good buddy, the Green King of Sting himself, Thomas Murphy, which will be returning, folks. That will now be returning. Soon. Now that things are opening up as a result of, COVID relaxation, and the difficulties, with restrictions and whatnot, those are opening up a little bit. We're going to reopen the Bippy, and we're going to get the bar going again. And one of the things that we obviously love to do is share tidbits about some of our favorite mob-related movies. Arguably one of the greatest mob movies of all time. May 11th holds a significance. Do you know what the significance of today is, bud?
Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm not gonna hurt myself. Those some wrong words. I'm gonna be kicking myself for not knowing this because I feel like I should know this and I probably do know this, but maybe it's a little too early on a Tuesday for me to get it right. So Mike, please tell us what it is.
May 11th was the technically last day that Henry Hill was a wise guy.
That's right. Of course,
we all remember the scenes. We all remember the chopper following him around all over the place, and all the difficulties with the drug deals and everything that he was doing. May 11th is a very red letter day in the history of Goodfellas. So when I saw it was May 11th this morning, naturally, of course, instead of thinking about all the good and everything that's been happening. This is where my mind goes right away. So I think that's pretty par for the course.
I don't blame you because that's obviously one of my favorite. I love that movie. I might have to watch it. I actually almost watched it the other night. It's part of my DVD collection. So I was scrolling, I was looking, and I kept going back, and I was like, you know what?
It's a good one.
I haven't sat down and watched Goodfellas in a long time. Ultimately, I did not do it because I determined that it was a little too late. Right. And sometimes, there's certain times where I go to bed knowing that I'm not even going to make it through the opening part of a movie, and that's fine. Right. Usually, my routine at night is, I throw on generally TV shows, ones that I don't necessarily have to think about. I can fall asleep to. Stooges for one. I watch a lot of Married with Children at night. Yeah. Seinfeld, of course. Things that I've seen millions and millions and millions of times.
And millions.
Always gotta trickle that in there. But so ultimately I didn't watch it. But now I'm like, you know what? You know what I need around here? I need a nice torrential downpour all day around here in Florida, so I can make an excuse to sit down. And you know what? It's raining out. I don't work in the rain. I don't go out in the rain.
Yep.
I'm going to sit down and watch Goodfellas on the big screen. Yes, that's right. No, actually, I share that very same philosophy with him. Certainly, when I had a choice, when I was in college, way back when, and for a time after college, I was working at a restaurant, delivering food, all that fun stuff. But I happened to work in every single snowstorm, every single year. There's one year in particular. I want to say 2013. We're going to make a connection with 2013 here, and trust me, you'll be impressed how we do that here in just a moment. But 2013, I believe that was the winter. It was snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm. We'd have 3 inches on one day, and we wouldn't even have enough time to clean up before snow kept falling. So it was a pretty busy winter. It got to a point where we were pulling out of the parking lot, and there were snow piles higher than my car on either side where the sidewalks were. So that's how much snow it was. And I just happened to work just about every night, which, working until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, driving in the snow in and out, and with the added obstacle of having to roll down your window to open your car door from the outside, something I did for 4 years. It's called dedication, folks, and being very poor because I could not afford to fix my door, so I just dealt with it. But anyways, I worked all night in the snow, trudging around, getting cold, doing all that stuff. Now, you know what? If it rains, I don't even go outside. Don't bother. No, you won't see me out there. If it happens. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it is. It's called finding what you want to do and just doing it. And for me, it was, well, I got tired of working in the snow. I got tired of working in the cold. I couldn't deal with it anymore. My buddy, he had a truck with a snowplow, so he'd pick up some extra work, plowing driveways and stuff like that, and business offices and whatnot. So, like an idiot, obviously, I decided I was going to go be his shovel guy, and I'm cleaning that up a little bit, for language wise. But hey, it was like $15-20 cash an hour, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll go out. It can't be that bad. Well, you're from New England. You understand that there are different types of snow. There are soft, nice, very fluffy snow that comes down. There's, that kind of, the ones that piles up quickly, others that melt fairly quickly. But then you have mixture of rain, muck, and just heavy, wet snow. Basically stuff that hits the ground and becomes slush right away. You know what I'm talking about. It's awful. That was the night I decided to help him out. So about 5 minutes into the night, my feet were soaked. And let me tell you, I decided then and there that manual labor was just not for me. And you know what? I'm perfectly okay accepting that because I like to use my mind and not my back and my shoulders and everything. They're bad enough. I don't need any sort of extra strenuous activity. But I don't even know where we're getting at with this. All I know is I'm going to bring it back to
choice. So basically, what you're saying is that you really kind of had your Henry Hill moment, like that. Yeah. 2013, like that winter was basically it. Like you'd had enough of it.
That's true.
You were ready to let it go.
Honestly, that was. Yeah. I was going to say that was the catalyst for my move down here. Because I ended up coming down here in 2015, and I remember thinking after that, I was like, I can't do this. I hate everyone. Everyone I see, I hate. I'm driving around in the snow. It's freezing. My car's dying. I'm like, I can't do this. So eventually I came down here and I haven't seen snow in 6 years, and I've been none the happier. But okay, let me bring it back to 2013 because 2013 was the year. And this is for Patriots fans was a interesting year because obviously it was the year of Aaron Hernandez and his arrest and everything like that. But it was also the year of Tim Tebow. Often forgotten, straggler, tag along for Patriots training camp in 2013, Tim Tebow. And what's remarkable about that, and I think about this often, I was thinking about it at the time, because remember, as we're seeing play out right now, maybe not to the level that it used to be, but maybe we're gearing up to it because people are a little rusty. Tim Tebow brings a circus with him,
Oh, yeah.
And I remember thinking at the time how remarkable it was that you had not only Tim Tebow, but the whole Aaron Hernandez fiasco in the same training camp, and you didn't get a peep outside of that first couple of comments that Bill Belichick made about Aaron Hernandez and the first moment or two of the Tebow media fiasco. They just shut it down. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, they killed, because everywhere Tebow goes, it's just a circus. It was just a circus. And then again, you add in the fact that, well, you had one of your current players get arrested for homicide. Well, it's pretty remarkable how that, that will create some sort of media interest for sure. But I guess it kind of speaks to one, obviously, the Patriots and Bill Belichick's ability to control the situation, and two, this is just a way for me to bring up Tim Tebow because guess what? He's coming back to the league, and I'm just like, I don't know what to think about it. I mean, like, look, it's tough because, like, I think too often people invoke Colin Kaepernick's name to draw a false narrative between situations.
Yeah.
Like anytime this player gets signed, it's well, Colin Kaepernick's still out there, and it's like, all right, guys, come on, let's relax a little bit. I'm not going to fault people for bringing it up now because although I do think the situations again aren't necessarily related, I think at least this warrants a little bit because look, Tim Tebow hasn't been in the league for how many years now, and when he was, he just wasn't that good. I mean, a great college player. A lot of people consider him one of the best college players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't college, and we've seen enough of him at the NFL level to realize that, well, he's just not that good.
Yeah.
And look, maybe had he decided or had he not been so stubborn to, not switch positions early in his career, maybe he'd still be playing football right now. Maybe tight end would have been a better option for him at the time. So I don't know. I don't know what I want to get your thoughts on this and kind of where you stand, but I think it's, obviously the connection's unique. So, I think, look, I think the bottom line is, and what people are losing with all this is, I don't think either player, Tebow or Kaepernick, are good enough to be in the NFL right now. So I'm not using this to say a one player's not. So you know what I'm saying? Like the comparison in my eyes isn't as strong as it seems, although I give it a little bit more merit because of, again, Tebow's been, he's 34 years old. That's how old I am. Like, granted, Tim Tebow, and I'm not about to take my shirt off, but Tim Tebow's in a little bit better shape than I am. Just take my word for it. I don't care how good a shape you're in. You're 34 years old. You're trying to make it in the NFL. That's I don't know. I don't see how this is going to play out. I don't think it's going to be a game-changing move. I don't even know if Tim Tebow's going to make the team, but I do want to get your thoughts on it before we get John in here, and I'm sure he's going to comment on it before we talk about probably some basketball stuff. So.
Well, bottom line, I think you said it. Tim Tebow coming back in the league. First of all, really, who says time travel isn't possible? Tim Tebow's back in the NFL. Ben Affleck's dating Jennifer Lopez again. It just seems like,
are we going back to 2004?
Yeah, we've lost like so much time here. It's like, we're caught in a time warp and everything kind of melding together. No, all kidding aside, folks, when it comes to Tebow and it comes to his ability to play in the NFL, yeah, I think it's way past its prime. I do understand some people, the Colin Kaepernick comparison, saying, how is Tebow worthy of getting a tryout and a spot in the NFL when ultimately, he never really did enough to deserve it. And people are saying the same thing about the Kaepernick didn't get his shot, but Tebow is getting his. I can understand maybe some of the rhetoric and some of the outrage, for lack of a better term, maybe poor choice of word here, but at the same time, I can understand where people are coming from. Look, Tebow has had a couple of nice, moments. We all remember him coming up here to New England and then working out in training camp and, the Tebow and everything that happened there. Like you said, it's a circus. It's a media circus that follows him. But what I look at is this is taking a potential roster spot away from someone that's worked their entire life to try to get to this level. Is this really, ticket sales or, anything to that effect, or merchandise sales? I don't know how many tickets it's going to sell. I don't know. I don't expect him to make the team. I'll be honest with you.
No.
If they're doing this based on merit, I can't imagine someone that's been out of the league for this long suddenly coming back in and being able to play a position he's never played at the pro level before. That's a lot to ask of anyone, and let alone someone with, Tim Tebow's resume. So, bottom line, I mean, it's tough because I like Tebow personally because he's never. I mean, he's not an unlikable
Yeah.
person. He just really isn't. I mean, he's for everybody that loves to get on him about being positive and being religious and stuff like that. That's who he is, folks. I mean,
Mhm.
that's really Tim Tebow's not putting on an act. This is not a facade with him. That's who he is. So it's hard not to like personally a guy like that, but from a professional standpoint and from a roster standpoint, in terms of what this means for the NFL and his spot on a roster, yeah, I don't know. I just this just screams cash grab to me, and I don't really understand other than to generate buzz. And the Jaguars don't really need to generate that buzz right now. They got the best quarterback and the best player in the league, or I should say, in the 2021 NFL draft. That's going to be calling signals for them this year. Lawrence, this kid's an exciting player. This is not a team that needs a gimmick, so I'm not sure where they're going with this, other than just Urban Meyer having an affinity for Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I'm not going to completely write off the Jags because I think we've talked about this before, and I think one of the advantages of having Urban as the coach this year is him coming directly from the college game, and we talked about this with Pete Carroll before that. You have a better understanding of the players available. So, are they going to catch lightning in the bottle early? Maybe. The question is, are they going to be able to hold on to that and keep evolving as a team? That's the harder part, because once you stay in the league for a little bit, then all of a sudden you're not as into the college game as you were in the past. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do think that this is obviously there's a personal connection with Urban and Tebow. And that, I think, is the only reason why this is happening, because I don't think any other team, any other general manager, any other coach is going to consider Tim Tebow, because, well, look, I mean, if you're looking for a tight end, there's, and our friend Claire will tell you, there's a lot of other good tight ends out there. And although it based on the message that we just got, it seems as though Claire is full support for Tim Tebow.
Yep, Claire wants us to give him a shot. So you know what? Hey, the more tight endage we can get in the NFL, I think Claire's all for it. Hey, you know what? We'll see. We'll see what the kid can do. I mean, I have a kid. I say kid. He's still a kid to me. But, I mean, we'll see what the guy can do. I mean, he's been out of the league for a number of years. I thought this was a good positional fit for him anyway. There were rumblings when he was up here in New England that Bill Belichick might be looking for a different, type of spot for him. Other than just the quarterback position. It never came to fruition because I don't think Bill could spare the roster spot. And I think that was just a little bit too much. But our good friend Chris Blackie chiming in, Dwayne Allen. I know, Chris, I know you want it. I know you love it. I know you can't for it. I don't know. I mean, I would have, if Jono and Hunter were not coming on, I'd be all this. This is a tough one for me, bud, because I feel you. We needed that Dwayne Allen touchdown. We really, really did. We wanted it for you, Chris.
Chris has a fat head of Dwayne Allen on his wall. Or just take my word for that. Any chance he gets to chime in about Dwayne Allen, of course he's going to say Dwayne Allen. He almost had a touchdown. Remember that time? He almost had it.
Yes, he almost had one.
It was close. But
the celebration in the household that night would have been unbelievable. I mean,
I'm thinking akin to Mardi Gras or something like that.
Oh yeah, there would have been conga lines all over New Hampshire. It would have been great.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think
they're playing on the front lawn.
Yeah, he says. Chris says,
really dating myself. I can't believe.
Yeah, well, hey, that's what you do every time you get on here, Mike. Don't worry. That's why I have you and Chris as my co-hosts for various shows, because it makes me feel a little bit younger. But speaking of feeling younger, personally, our next guest makes me do that, and that's Mr. John Sapichetti. John, how you doing, my friend? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe a little TB12 might do you well. Well, I am going to, and unfortunately, it sounds like Mike Mike can't not hear you. So I'm wondering if there's an issue with. Well, Mike can hear me. I know that. So if anyone out there wants to chime in and let me know if I'm just talking to myself and they can't hear John, I'm going to try to figure this out for us so we don't have any issues moving forward. But doesn't look like.
Yeah, we're laying in our good friend, the Golden Heart from the Garden State. Stara just basically said, "Don't hear John." So
okay,
I don't know.
All right.
If
well,
anybody's not getting John.
Yeah, it looks like John has crashed the internet. Yeah, don't hear him.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Chris
saying can't hear him.
Chris is Chris is still looking for for Dwayne Allen. So
Yeah, yeah. Don't take Chris's word for it, but we did get a. Yeah, so let me let me work on that here, and just as we get through this. So John, I know you can hear me. Stand by. I'm going to call you back here shortly, and we'll get your opinion here because I want to talk some basketball here. So all right. Anyways, let's see. All right. So anyways, let's get back to it. So I was going to bring in John and talk about Tim Tebow. While we wait, because I think I know the solution to this, I'm going to try to figure this out now. Audio input. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Audio output. Okay, let's try and see.
Claire has chimed in that she could hear John on the audio only on the app. So the audio was only good through there. So audio only was
okay.
So John was coming through.
Okay, well let's see if we can we'll do a little test here. Okay, we'll do a little test. That's good. We are good. All right. So Mike, I want you to tell me if you can hear this. No.
I can hear you going. No.
Okay, good. Because I'm glad it didn't sound because it was Careless Whisper, and I wouldn't want to be the only one singing that, thinking I was being masked by the actual sound of the song. Chris says, "Bring in the cat to run the board." Yeah, it might be pretty well. She's sleeping right now, so you can't see her. She's getting a little off screen up here, But anyways, no. Well, I guess there's a little hiccup here with the connection, so we'll keep working on it. Try to get him in here in just a moment, but I want to take a look real quick because this is exciting, and I'm excited for this. But naturally, as things happen to always work out this way, the Bruins and the Capitals will be meeting in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, set to start this Saturday. Mm-hmm. I know Chris Blackie is actually painting under his eyelids as we speak right now in preparation for this. He is getting ready for the big showdown. But obviously the big storyline being Big Z, Zdeno Chara, going to unfortunately retire facing the Bruins because we haven't talked about it yet on our Big Bad Bruins podcast, but I see the Bruins winning this series. But I'm excited for the Stanley Cup playoffs just in general. Not all the matchups are set, but the playoff teams are. So, yeah, Chris is in there saying, "Let's get after it." Don't worry, we will. There's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot to preview coming up, and I'm going to paint my face for the entirety of the playoffs. Yes. So maybe I'll be, no, okay. I'm really not, because I just realized that I'm on camera every day and then I would have to kind of prove it. So no, folks, I'm not going to do that, but yeah, support the team. I about that.
To support the team.
Devils. Yeah. Anyways, I unfortunately wish we could get John on here because I do feel like he has a lot to opine about Tim Tebow, but unfortunately I don't understand what the whole issue is with this with this little setup at the moment. But let's see.
Upset John, and I'll say this off camera. It'll get really upset John by saying that if Green Bay decides to move on from Aaron Rodgers, maybe Tebow comes in. We got a little Tebow mania up there, Rambo.
Yeah.
John is
man, it would be an
head off right now. Of course, this is why.
Well, it'd be an upgrade, right? It'd be an upgrade, right?
Or you said that, not me.
I just got a bunch of angry texts from John. Bleep, 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 bleep. Okay. All right. No, folks. Although
yeah.
one can only wonder whether Aaron Rodgers could make the big throw in overtime like Tim Tebow did to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying. Just saying.
The playoff success of Tim Tebow.
Yeah, that carried him for this last almost 15 years. Rumor, if he resigns, maybe. On the screen, Chris says I'm getting a Taylor Hall tattoo on my back. If he signs, I think he will. I think he should.
Yeah, Ian's gone full on Hawk from Cobra Kai, full back tattoo. Taylor Hall right there. That's it. Gonna get touched up a little bit.
That might have been the longest we've gone without you mentioning Cobra Kai.
It's coming
on this broadcast in quite some time.
The draft has had my attentions pulled in the opposite way, but binge corner content coming fast and furious now from Cobra Kai, especially now that we know that season 4 has wrapped shooting. Got some interesting theories, bud.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm surprised you don't have your headband on because normally you have your headband on, or at least that's what At least that's what I've been told. So I'm a little disappointed that you
have you believe.
Well, tomorrow I think should be headband day. I think you should break out the headband. Yeah, see, Chris agrees. Mercy is for the weak.
That is absolutely here on the street competition. A man confronts
all right, so
he is the enemy.
I'll say this. I'm gonna shoot it out here for the listeners out here. Chime in under the Full Press Radio stream of this so we can get you up on screen here. The original stream here. Should Mike wear the gi and the headband on this show? I mean, I vote yes. So I think if we can get the equivalent of the room temperature with a round of applause, everyone, by commenting on the Full Press Radio stream, let us know what you think, because I do think it would be great for you to come in, get on camera, have the gi, have the headband, and I think a lot of people will agree. I think Chris will agree, and we don't agree on a lot of things, certainly food.
The public has the ability to make this happen.
They can. Folks, let us know. Mike needs to wear the gi and the headband and go just full Cobra Kai on it. Just accept it and move on. I'm looking for a satchel so I can go full Jack Bauer, and I can just always have that with a bunch of crap in it. Chris says Earth cannot handle us agreeing, and I agree with that. Which, I don't know if that's some sort of agree inception or something. I don't know what's happening there, but I am very disappointed that we cannot get John on the phone, and I don't know why, Mike. I really don't know why, because it was working for a little bit. So
for once, my $3 Rhode Island internet is not the cause. Although I find out that it is.
Oh, it could be. You never know. What was I going to say? Oh, anyways, one of the things I was going to ask John, and if he's listening, maybe he can chime in and text us and give us his opinion, and we can have this really terrible setup when it comes to an interview here with him. But Jaylen Brown, Celtics, done for the season. Mm-hmm. This team either overachieves or underachieves, and it's It's incredibly frustrating if you're a Celtics fan, because I think obviously with Jaylen Brown out, I don't think they had much of a chance to begin with. But with Jaylen Brown out, I think their chances at doing anything in this playoffs, it is not going to happen. So I want to get your thoughts on that while I sit here and try to figure out how to get John involved here, because it's a very simple issue that it should be very solvable, but it has yet to be.
Yeah, I mean, down obviously is a huge blow for the Celtics. A guy that's having a great year, but riddled by injury, and just one more, unfortunately, that just piled on to the laundry list. And now we know that this will keep him out of the remainder of the season. I agree with you. I mean, with regard to Tatum, I know that's, there's a lot of talent there, and he's capable of doing great things, but I don't think he's capable of carrying this team far into the playoffs. So, unfortunately, things are looking rough for the Celtics. It's not a complete and utter death knell, because you never know what could happen, especially in the NBA. If a team gets hot, there's a possibility that these guys could play through it. I do have, a lot of belief in Brad Stevens and the job that he does coaching that team. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you really feel for Jaylen, who was really, I think, starting to hit his stride, and heading into the playoffs. You knew you wanted him at least as full strength as you possibly could get. Someone that can deliver time in and time out. And this is a huge blow for the Celtics. So I was definitely sad to see that happen last night. But life goes on, next man up. And, the C's are going to have to weather through it and see who's going to be able to take that next step and be the Celtics' next guy. But I agree with you. The road to the playoffs, into the playoffs now, is going to be a very difficult one for our Boston Celtics.
Well, and that's the thing too, and this is one of the reasons why I'm hoping this little solution here will have fixed the problem with John's audio. But is this a team that needs a bigger makeover? And real quick, John, let's give us a test. Say something. Based on no reaction from Mike, I'm guessing we cannot hear you. So, sorry, John. We're gonna have to rain check it here, and unfortunately, we'll figure out what happened here. But apologize for that. But you'll just have to live with me saying that Tim Tebow would be an upgrade over Aaron Rodgers, and that's that. So we'll talk soon, and hopefully get you on later this week. So. At least now I know that he did hear me say that, so he knows. Is this a team that needs to make major changes?
I don't necessarily know about major changes, but I do think there are changes that are going to have to be addressed in the offseason. Look, when you consistently fail to make that next level, despite the talent that is there, that is capable of leading you to that next level, when it fails, you need to look at the roster, you need to look at the structure, and you need to determine what needs to be done. Now, a lot of people are calling for a coaching change, which I'm surprised about, but there are some people that are doing that and saying, well, maybe Brad is not the answer for this team. I do still believe in Brad Stevens. I think that he's a guy that's going to be capable of giving them the opportunities they need to be able to win and win consistently in the Eastern Conference. But you look at, either perimeter shooting or, ability to be able to bang down low. The Celtics need, I think, maybe some savvy veterans to come in to take some of the pressure off of the young players that they have here and be able to meld together into a cohesive unit, a team that is capable of playing together, and a team that's capable of playing with a lot more consistency. There are times, like you said, there are times where the Celtics look like they're ready to put it all together, and they overachieve, and they really, show the world that they're capable of playing with the biggest and the best teams in the NBA. And then there are times where they completely fall flat, and they're relying on a lot of late game surges to try to get back into these games, things of that nature. They need to be able to dominate, or they need to be able to at least compete from the opening buzzer, the opening tip, right until the closing buzzer. And that's not something that these guys are doing on a consistent basis. Some of that does have to do with coaching, and maybe Brad Stevens needs to adjust a little bit, maybe go back to the drawing board, take a look at some of his methods, incorporate some new, opportunities. But ultimately, it rests on personnel, and I think they do have some changes. So I think the core and the nucleus of this team is there, but until they add maybe another piece or two to kind of take some of the pressure off, I think it's you're going to see more of the same results for the Boston Celtics. So I think it's obvious that they have a little bit of adjusting to do in the offseason, whenever that may start.
Yeah, and I I would imagine it'll be sooner rather than later for them, because again, I don't foresee a long playoff run for the Celtics. But then again, maybe they'll surprise us and do just that. We will save a lot of that though for hopefully maybe we can get John in tomorrow and kind of do what we were planning on doing today with him tomorrow. Once we figure out the bit of a bit of the technical hiccup there. But one lost opportunity creates another, Mike. Mm-hmm. And this little hiccup gave me an opportunity to realize that today, sadly, is the 1-year anniversary of the passing of one Jerry Stiller. We know him so quite fondly as Frank Costanza, and obviously, he managed to live to the age of 92, which is pretty incredible. But figure we can get accompanied by some Frank Costanza here on our screen.
I couldn't bring myself to spend one of these. I got some kind of a phobia. I bet that collection would be worth a lot of money today.
Oh my God.
Oh man, it's he incredible career, obviously spanning decades, and a family of performers, really. If obviously his son being Ben Stiller and all that, but his role on Seinfeld, and even on if you ended up watching The King of Queens, if you were a fan of that show as well, both times he absolutely killed it in his really minor but major role. Frank Costanza wasn't on the screen for 22 of the 23-minute runtime, but the 1 or 2 minutes that he killed it every single time. And it's, we sit here and talk about George, and I think there might be some discussion, but George Costanza might be the greatest television character of all time. His dad, played by Jerry Stiller, might be up there as well, because just in the limited time that he is on screen and given that time to shine, like I said, he kills it every single time.
He did. He absolutely nailed every scene that he was in, and he stole the show. No matter what opportunity Jerry Stiller got to play that role, he always knocked it out of the park, whether it was, I stopped short, or just that scene that we just played with the ever seen a silver dollar, it just everything that he just did was incredible. From the time that he first made his first appearance on Seinfeld, right up until the final season, where he's shaking Estelle Costanza, who had passed out because George is going to jail, saying, "Come on, we got to beat the traffic," And I was one of the few that was, I didn't hate the final episode. I didn't love it. I think that was one of the funniest moments in that, was him shaking Estelle Costanza and saying, "Go on, we got to beat the traffic." Nothing to me is more quintessential Frank Costanza than that. Just a brilliant comedian. And really, I think the body of work that he had, whether it be The King of Queens or whether it be a lot of the other, work that he's done, will always be indelible. Something that endeared him to so many people. So, he's definitely missed in comedy, especially in sitcoms today, and just a great guy. A lot of great laughs at the expense of Jerry Stiller, and Festivus will live on forever.
And if the timing couldn't have been any better, because clearly that's what I was bringing up.
Ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
What happened to the doll?
It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, that must have been some kind of doll.
She was. And at the Festivus dinner, you gather your family around and tell them all the ways they have disappointed you over the past year.
And is there a tree?
No, instead there's a pole. requires no decoration. I find tinsel distracting.
Frank, this new holiday of yours is scratching me right where I itch.
Let's do it then.
All right.
Festivus is back! I'll get the pole out of the crawl space.
Oh, it's fantastic. We could sit here and watch it. Maybe that's what we'll do one of these. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting called out for complaining about snow apparently. But no, we could sit here and watch we could watch like an episode of Seinfeld just for an entire episode. That'll be the show. That's the show. Here's the show.
Yeah, I think that is the show. Yeah, I think our good buddy Murph is a little ticked off with us this morning. I think he's calling you out for 3 inches of snow complaining. He's calling me out for liking Cobra Kai. We've angered the Count of Murphy Fisto this morning.
Yeah, apparently we've ruffled his feathers a bit. I'm still waiting for him to call in. I think he said he was going to call in, but we're running out. We're dangerously low on time, so But anyways, yeah. So Jerry Stiller 1 year ago today passed away, and again, 92 years old, incredibly long life. So you can't you appreciate what he was able to bring to the table. And again, we can always go back, and I got the DVD box set of Seinfeld right over my left shoulder here. So anytime I want to go back and watch some great Jerry Stiller moments, I certainly can. So any final thoughts, Mike, before we say goodbye? Because, again, we did have something planned today, but it didn't go quite the way we wanted it to. So we're going to have to get back and hopefully talk to John soon. But any final thoughts on the day today? And are you going to wear the gi tomorrow?
Well, it's really going to depend on what the public has to say. I think
the public has spoken. The public has spoken.
That at least the headband. So I'm going to say at least the headband. We'll see what we can do about the gi, but at least the headband I think will be making an appearance tomorrow. But
okay, all right, okay, I can live with that. I can, we'll see. Well, I'll peer pressure you into it. Peer pressure still exists, and I'll get to you. So, so tomorrow, be sure to check that out. Mike D'Abate and Headband practicing, demonstrating Cobra Kai.
Yeah, you don't want to see, you do not.
I mean, not demonstrating.
He's right now.
Well, he's going to be acting out, and then doing some actual physical demonstrations of the practice. So, acting out season 1 starting tomorrow. Just Mike, yes. The one-man show,
yes,
the one-man Cobra Kai show.
Yeah, physically, yeah, exactly. Yeah, physically, it'll take me 10 minutes just to get up off my chair, folks. So I think that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Well, that will certainly increase viewership, and you'll have to take my word for people that are just chomping at the bit, clamoring for Mike to do this. So give us a follow, FPC Radio Live. That's right, at FPC Radio Live. Very convenient because that's the name of the show. Easy to find, easy to follow. You better do it on Twitter, at Full Press Radio. I am at IGLEN31, and of course, Mike is at MDABATEFPC. Folks, have a great Tuesday. Be safe. And peer pressure Mike into wearing the gi tomorrow.